In B2B sales, your brand reputation is your single most valuable asset. It takes years to build credibility in a market, but the pressure to generate revenue quickly often forces companies to delegate outbound sales, putting that fragile reputation directly on the line. This chart shows the baseline requirements for building a safe internal sales team to protect that brand. We are looking at a minimum of $200,000 in fixed overhead, a 6 to 9 month runway just to build the department, and a 60% risk of those reps turning over before they even become profitable. Absorbing those specific friction points drains capital efficiency. A startup or growing enterprise cannot afford to burn cash for 3 quarters waiting for a pipeline to materialize, which inevitably drives founders to seek external shortcuts. Building internally guarantees total control over your brand, but the sheer time and capital required can kill a growing company before it even establishes market share. The most common alternative is the traditional lead broker, agencies that promise fast meetings and immediate pipeline activity. The risk here is catastrophic. You're essentially handing a megaphone to an unsupervised junior rep. If they spam your target market with generic pitches or make wild product claims just to secure a meeting, they are actively destroying your future credibility. GroRev SalesNair claims to offer a third option, delivering the predictable revenue of an outsourced team without the internal overhead, while fiercely defending your brand in the market. This quadrant chart maps standard options. Internal build sits here, low risk but incredibly slow. Generic lead brokers sit opposite, fast but carrying massive brand risk. GroRev plots itself into the empty, fast and low risk quadrant, achieving this through strict mechanical governance controlling the sales motion. The question we have to answer is whether GroRev's operational mechanics actually guarantee that protection, or if governance is simply another marketing buzzword. GroRev structures its engagements around a system they call the 4 layers of accountability. Layer 1 is the assignment of dedicated senior revenue leadership. Every client pod is staffed with seasoned experts, including a fractional chief revenue officer and senior sales development reps. Because of this senior staffing, complex tasks like market strategy, ideal customer profile validation, and deal risk identification are handled by veterans, preventing entry-level trainees from experimenting with your target accounts. The strict trade-off for this layer is availability. Relying on premium talent severely limits their capacity, meaning GroRev accepts only 3 new validation projects each month. Layer 2 governs brand and message control. Before a single call is made or an email is sent, your internal leadership must actively transfer deep product knowledge to the GroRev team and co-create the precise messaging framework. GroRev operates under an explicit restriction protocol. Their reps cannot make unapproved claims. They are barred from presenting low-fit meetings as qualified opportunities, and they will not use generic spam to artificially inflate their activity numbers. The trade-off here demands significant upfront time and collaboration from your executives. This eliminates the fantasy of signing a contract and immediately washing your hands of the sales process. This flowchart illustrates how stages 1 and 2 operate as physical defensive gates. Any attempt to use unapproved claims or generic spam is blocked from ever entering the pipeline. By forcing all market outreach through these controlled checkpoints, GroRev mechanically disarms the junior rep megaphone threat. Layers 1 and 2 dictate a specific working dynamic. This is a heavy strategic partnership, not a transactional vendor relationship. Layer 3 enforces complete visibility through the CRM. GroRev operates on a blunt internal mandate. If a detail is not documented in the CRM, it did not happen. Opportunities advance only when exact stage-based evidence is uploaded into the system. This provides your leadership with unvarnished pipeline truth, exposing buyer objections and deal risks early. The trade-off is that you must sacrifice the dopamine hit of vanity metrics. You will receive slower, qualitative deal data rather than weekly reports boasting about thousands of raw, unread emails. Layer 4 covers responsible closure and handover. A deal is not considered closed until the commercial commitment is heavily documented. Final scope, key stakeholders, and implementation timelines must be captured in writing before the sales team is allowed to step away. Because every objection and decision criteria is logged, this process generates a reusable organizational sales playbook that your company retains forever. The trade-off for Layer 4 is intentional administrative friction at the finish line. Reps are physically blocked from closing a deal and immediately abandoning the account to chase their next commission. Looking at the expanded flowchart, we see stages 3 and 4 securing the final output. The pipeline data flows directly into a documented, reusable playbook. These final layers eliminate the black box effect typical of generic agencies. Every interaction is recorded, visible to your leadership, and transferred to delivery. Continuous visibility and rigid documentation are the exact objective mechanics that manufacture trust in this system. The core trade-off is clear. Achieving true brand protection requires you to surrender the fantasy of a hands-off, magical lead generation machine. Engaging with GroRev means you accept upfront collaboration time, adhere to strict governance processes, and ignore short-term activity spikes in favor of documented deal progression. This scorecard outlines the ideal client. It targets B2B tech and enterprise companies relying on high lifetime value accounts and complex sales cycles. These companies cannot afford to alienate their limited market with careless outreach. GroRev's rigid oversight is a perfect match here. Conversely, certain business models will actively fail under this framework. If your company is a transactional business, focuses heavily on high-volume, low-cost sales, or is simply looking for hands-off automation, you need to look elsewhere. Transactional sales rely on extreme volume and speed. The mandatory CRM documentation and heavy collaborative demands of the GroRev model will feel incredibly frustrating and inefficient for a high-volume goal. You can trust GroRev SalesNair to protect your brand while driving revenue, but only because that trust is enforced by a rigid, mechanical system of governance, and you have to be willing to participate in it.